coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Bam, 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 boom, 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 boom. Appreciate the support. 33, man. 33 years of prison stories. We out here. We rolling. We rolling. We rolling. We trying to teach them and reach them. Teach them and reach them, man. Keep them from throwing their life away, man. One bad mistake, man, and it's over. It's over. One bad mistake in 1 second will cost you decades of regret. Possibly, you know, lifetime of regret. So we gotta tighten up, man, and we gotta spread this message, this positive energy. So y'all, everybody on TBP, man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate you sharing these videos. I appreciate you talking about it to a friend and all of that. We continue to grow, man. We on the verge of 80K, and we won't stop, can't stop. We're gonna keep on going and tell everybody know what's going on over here. You heard me? So that's what's up, man. TBP, man, much love. I appreciate all of y'all. Today, man, I want to speak about something that I spoke about previously. I spoke about it, you know, I think shortly within maybe the Greensville series, the Greensville video. But I wanted to speak about, you know, the incident with the brother Peewee, you know, and, you know, this is a classic example of how much your life is worth in prison. You know, the value of your life in prison is basically zero, you know. So once you cross that line and go behind them walls, man, you know, it's anything goes. You know, and like I say, you are from that point on a subhuman, not even looked at as a human being. Far as rights and all of that, man, that's out the window. You know, that don't even exist. But I think this story right here kind of like, you know, amplifies that. You know what I mean by when I say your life really has no value. The dude Peewee, I met him on Greensville, man, in the 90s. And he had a unique story, you know. To the best of my knowledge, I'll tell the parts of it that I know, or what, you know what I'm saying, what my knowledge is of it. But my knowledge of Peewee was that he was a juvenile, and he had got in trouble, been getting in trouble all his life, you know, messing around with, you know, guns, drugs, crime, whatever the case may be, because, you know, to my understanding, his mom and pops, you know, was on drugs. So he ended up being put in a foster home, and, you know, he just kept getting in trouble, in and out of trouble. At one point in time while he was in the foster home, to my understanding, the director of the foster home, or the superintendent of the foster home, took a liking to him. He had a good personality. The dude liked him or whatnot, and wanted to help him, understood his situation, felt like he was a good kid that was in a bad situation and wanted to help him. So when it came time for Peewee to get out, you know, the superintendent or whatever, you know, offered to take him in, man, you know, to, you know, be his caretaker and let him move in with him and his family. And this was an older, Peewee was an African American. This was an older Caucasian man. He takes Peewee in, and Peewee goes there and live with him, and he try to get him on the right track, you know, get him back in school, do this, do that, whatever. And to my understanding, Peewee was messing around, you know, going back to his old hood, hanging around with the old fellas, you know, getting into the flammery, the skullduggery, the larceny, all the foolishness. And the white dude that took him in, you know, him and his wife, you know, they was kind of like, you know, well off or whatnot. And Peewee supposed to had, you know, got high, drunk or whatever it was one night, and he with his friends, and they come up with this, you know, bird brain scheme to go back and, you know, rob the dude that he lived with, you know what I'm saying, and knowing where certain things was and da 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 da. So they go back to do that. In the process of that happening, I guess the old man woke up or something, and somebody was with Peewee or whatever hit the old man across the head with something or whatever, and the old man ended up, succumbing to his injuries and passing away. Peewee eventually got locked up. They gave him all this time or whatever. At this time, I can't remember what the governor's name was, but whatever governor it was, he ran his campaign on Peewee's incident. He said that he was going to be tough on crime because of people like this, and he used the Peewee incident as an example. By him using that Peewee incident as an example, and I think he ended up winning, the governor. I can't remember which one it was. I'm sure if y'all look it up, y'all find it. But he ended up running his campaign based upon being tough on crime. It's people like this that do these things like this. When you show mercy and you show humbleness to somebody or whatever, and this is what you get in return. I'm going to be tough on crime. I'm going to make sure people like this, stay locked up, woo. He went through all of that, and he eventually ended up winning, and I think he was the governor for a couple of years. Me, personally, I can't remember his name because of the simple fact that I didn't keep up with politics like that when I was in there. But the only reason I know this situation because I ended up, meeting and knowing Peewee. So, and hearing the situation from other people. So anyway, Peewee is locked up with life and whatever it was, as a teenager, and he is expected to spend the rest of his life in prison because of, his crime and because of, like I say, this so much publicity was shined on the crime, which put him in a bad situation, which he put himself in a bad situation, but this put him in even a badder situation by, making it political. Anyway, fast forward, like I meet Peewee, and, he been in penitentiary now for probably a couple of years or whatever, but he's still young at the time. He younger than me. He was a fly little young dude. He knew, a lot of people knew him, whether it be about his case or whatever it was, but a lot of people knew him. He was a fly little young dude. He kept himself together all the time. Back in the day during this time, we could get all different types of stuff in prison, like, order your own clothes, your little fitted hats, your different color shirts and all this. Peewee had every type of hat known to man. Peewee had probably about 100-something hats in his cell, and all these different color shirts to match his hats or whatever. So he was a fly little young guy. He kept, up with his appearance. And he was a hustler in penitentiary already at a young age because, he come from the streets as being a youngin' because of the life that he lived. So he hustled, he did this, he ran a little store box, he did a little gambling, he sold a little this and sold a little of that. He was doing his little thing, and like I say, he had a little respect. Even though he was a youngin', he had a little respect because, like I say, he had been out there for a while and people knew who he was. I can remember, man, being okay with Peewee, and I told us about this incident. And then the one thing that I remember about Peewee was when the Super Bowl came along. And, y'all already know, if y'all been watching TVP, y'all know I was, Brett Favre fan. I'm from D.C., I rode with the Redskins. Yeah, I said the Redskins. You understand? But I always like players in particular, so I rode with Green Bay for a long time. As long as they had Brett Favre, that was my dude. I felt like, I liked him. I resonated with him, the way he played, the way he approached the game or whatever. So I remember when the Super Bowl came up, it was Green Bay. I cannot remember who it was against, but it was Green Bay, and I'm betting on Green Bay, and he liked the other team. So we was gonna make a bet. We betting in here. So he wanted to bet. We came up with, look, bet this, bet that, woo. So then we came up with, look, we gonna bet this, that, and the third. Then he feels so confident. He come back. He said, well, bet $100 cash with it too. So I say, okay, bet. Because this is how much confidence I got in Brett Favre anyway, right? So he's like, you got 100 cash? I said, yeah, don't. If I'm betting it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? So we make the bet or whatever. Game, tight, on and off, woo. Then Green Bay, do what they do. Brett Favre do what he do, and we pull it off. You know what I'm saying? So when the game was over, this how it be, and the dudes be salty. You lose, you salty. I lose, I'm gonna be salty. But he lost, he was salty. So he go to pay me when the game over, and then he come with some flim flam, talking about some, look, yeah, I'm gonna pay you and everything, right? But let me see your 100 cash and make sure you had it, man. Make sure you just won't bet on L. What? What? I'm like, man, listen, I won the bet. I don't have to show you anything. if you was concerned about that, you should have asked me before I bet to show you or whatever. The bet is over. The game is over. Give me my money. No, but I just want to. No, man, no, we not doing none of that. I ain't got to produce nothing. Give me my money. You know, man, I feel like you ain't had, but I don't care what you feel. You know, so we go through this, that, and the third. Some other dudes intervene, some dudes, older dudes on him. You know, his little OGs telling him, look, young, you lost the bet, man. Yeah, all that is irrelevant, wah. But, you know, I'm already in that mode, like, man, you gonna pay me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't showing you nothing. You gonna pay me. Whether I had it or not, you'll never know because you lost. You know what I'm saying? Had you won, then you'll find out what you need to find out. But we had that little incident. It got brushed over, you know, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? After that, you know, we was okay. We was all right. We were never super friends or nothing, but we was cool. You know, so that's my, you know, the basis of my dealings with him, you know. But I thought he was a cool little youngin', you know what I'm saying? As far as like being in penitentiary, young as he was, the way he carried himself, the way he conducted himself was a lot better than a lot of the other little youngins who was lost in the sauce and getting caught up in this, that, and the third, and, you know, getting dragged here, there, and fro. So later on, Peewee ended up getting into some type of situation, whatever it was, that, you know, ended him up in segregation. So he in segregation, you know, and during this time, I also spoke about in the video, during this time on Greensville, to be in segregation was to be, you know, in danger, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of danger, because they had a whole little mob back there that was doing a whole lot of unlawful, everything. If it got on it, they was doing it. They was dragging dudes back there. They was beating dudes. They was running up in cells. They was trying to impose their will on dudes. They was doing a lot of stuff back there, and they was getting away with it, you know, because the institution's so big, and they had this little thing going on back there. I told y'all a little bit about that. Go back and watch the Greenville videos, because, you know, like I said, I had a little run-in with the same little mob. When I got back there, I got put on point, and I knew what was going on, but I had been hearing about it when I was on the yard. But one of the biggest incidents that happened back there during this time that all this foolishness was going on was with Peewee, right? I told y'all they had a nurse back there, man. I can't remember her name either, but her name, if I did remember, I wouldn't even say it because she don't deserve nothing. You know what I'm saying? She was a manipulator. She was you know, a person that used her position, her looks, her body, or whatever the case may be, to manipulate everybody in the system. So whereas to really she won't doing nothing and getting a paycheck coming there, she's supposed to be passing out medicine, you know, doing this, doing that, and she ain't doing nothing, and she might miss your medicine if she ain't like you. She was just on some super Bama flim flam stuff, man, and I you know, she was a piece of trash. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it is what it is. So, but she was using her sexuality to manipulate everybody back there. You know, she had little COs that I'm quite sure she was, you know, doing favors for, to make them, you know, do her bidding. You cuss her out, you embarrass her. She had a big ego, so she tried to walk through there like she was Queen Cleopatra. But when you say something to her, or you get, you know, have words with her, then next thing you know, you got the officers trying to run down on you, running your cell, and, you know, boop, bop, bip, 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 beat you up and everything, and don't even report it, don't do no incident report, don't do no nothing, all because, you know, they want to send a message, don't say nothing to her. Don't bother her when she come through here. Let her walk through here in peace. You know what I'm saying? But in order for her to get them people on her side like that, she was doing something. You know what I'm saying? And it was known. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, she was doing the same thing with the, you know, the convicts or the inmates that worked back there. So they had an inmate that worked back there. They had a good reputation, man, in the system. He was known for putting in work, doing this, doing that, being a go-hard dude. But he on long-term segregation, so he working back there. He in seg, but he comes out and work. So she knowing that he got a reputation, and she knowing he come out and work, and she knowing he respected, so she, you know, snuggled up to him, probably, you know, giving him some favors as well. So now he like the enforcer. You say something to her, she'll send him first. If they don't get no results, then she gonna send the police at you, right? man, it was just some crazy stuff going on back there. They say she be mad at you, man. She was putting sleeping pills in your food. You know, they gotta bring your food to you. She put sleeping pills in your food so you can be asleep all day when she come back there, so you won't humiliate her, you won't embarrass her. It was a lot going on back there, man. I'm telling you, man, you can't make this. This is penitentiary with all the flammery that goes with it. And this coming from the administration side. You know, because she's a nurse, so and she working with the police and whoever else she could work with. So this is the flammery that you go through messing with the administration. So this is the type of stuff that's going on, right? So dudes is putting me on game when I come back there. When I come back there and say they put me on game. So I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's even worse than what I done heard about on the yard. On the yard, they said, man, they got some crazy stuff going on back there in D on it, man. They tripping back there. Dudes is getting beat up, getting their teeth knocked out, getting their jaw broke, you know, all this foolishness, and ain't nobody being held accountable for it, but all this is happening with the police. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody being accounted for it. So it was just chaos back there going on, and, you know, Peewee ended up being back there. Peewee ended up running across her. Peewee is an arrogant little young fly dude, so Peewee, she act snotty with him, he give her the business, cuss out, woo, 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 and there you go. That's where the beef started at. And so now she beefing with Peewee, and Peewee gonna give her the business verbally. He gonna verbally, you know, give her that whooping. She got a nasty mouth herself. You know, the go-to in there for a CO, a female, especially a female, but the go-to for them when you arguing with them, cuss them out, the go-to with them is, you locked up, that's why you locked up, oh, yeah, F you, F your mama, yeah, your mama this, your mama that, yeah, woo, that's why you can't go home, I go home every night, I get to do this, I get to do that, you sitting in the cell like a clown, you had all that, they gonna give you all that. So dudes knowing that's what they gonna receive, oh, they got something to give you. They gonna, that's why you here. Yeah, you can't be nowhere else. You be on the welfare line. Yeah, you couldn't be here. If you was about anything, you'll never be working in a prison. Your life messed up. It's just back and forth. So Peewee giving her the business. Obviously, she done went to the people and said something about him. You know, then she go to old boy Bear. Bear is, like I say, Bear got a reputation, and she done went to Bear and told Bear about her. I don't know how they come up with this flam plan or whatever it is being the Peewee. Like I said, a lot of cats know Peewee. A lot of cats rock with Peewee. His case big. He from the big R. Everybody know him. A lot of dudes rock with. He like the young, the youngin' of the team. So, you got to take that in consideration, because like I told you, man, now Richmond, man, people can say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Richmond mob is deep, man. Richmond mob is like a gang within itself. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bloods, the Crips, or whatever. Richmond mob is like a gang. If you're beefing with somebody from Richmond that's popular, man, you got action, man, because they coming at you. they coming at you, man. You don't know what you might get. You might get 10, 15, 20, 50. You might get 100. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who the cat is. You might get a riot. You know what I'm saying? So dudes got to have that in mind when they dealing with a dude from Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So they go to Bear. She must have went to Bear. Somebody went to Bear. So Bear is working with the people to, sad to say, mess his whole reputation up. Everything he done built up, all the work he done put in, the reputation that he done earned, you can throw that down the drain when you do some flammer. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in life. You can do all these good things. You do one bad thing, man, that's critical, and then they'll just forget everything else you ever did. That's the same in the penitentiary. You can earn a stand-up reputation. You could be a stand-up guy. You could be a head buster. You could be a Bethlehem pusher. And then you do one type of flam, do some snitching, do some police stuff. That's going out the window, man. It's gone. It take you years to earn, a minute to lose. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So you got to protect your reputation like you protect your life. Now a lot of flam are going to be said about you in prison, especially when you ain't around. They gonna say you this, they gonna say you that, you's a snitch, you gay, or you's a dope fiend, or they'll say all that when you ain't around. But the truth will hold firm, because people know who you are and know what you did. And then they'll whisper, and then when they go back to them and you question them about it, they'll say, I ain't say that, But they do that to try to assassinate your reputation. But the only person that can assassinate your reputation is you and your actions. See what I'm saying? Because people who really know gonna say, man, that ain't true. They might, if you really stand up and you say it to the wrong person and they really rock with him and they really know he telling the truth, he'll really stand up do it. He might break his jaw. You know, if you come to me talking about somebody and you putting a bad bone on their name and I know this not to be that person because I know this person, then yeah, you might have to duck the hook. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna let you do that to nobody that I rock with because I know better. You know, and dudes are hating there for no reason, man. No reason at all. Just because they not you. Just because they don't move like you. Just because they can't move like you. They'll hate on you. So, but like I say, when you dealing with somebody like Bear and he do this, it's known the actions you pull it. Now, people are trying to justify and say, okay, yeah, man, you know, the number one commodity in prison is freedom. Number two is, you know, the company of a woman. So if a woman is giving you these favors that you so much desire, a dude, man, I seen the best of them turn, man. Man, they roll over like apple turnovers, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because they want it so bad. You know what I'm saying? You'll kill your whole reputation and everything that you built for years and years and years just because, you know, you getting some play. You know, and that's what the consensus is that happened with him. She doing this, that, and the third for him, you know, when she can do it because he got free reign back there. He could be with her alone a lot back there. And in turn, he be the enforcer. He pulling up on dudes with his reputation, pulling up on dudes with, you know, his whatever, man. Look, man, you don't back up off her, child. Don't say nothing to her, man, when she come through. Man, that's the police. Man, look, man, don't say, you know, he using his weight. Now, the story goes, she sent him at Peewee. She go to Peewee, he try to shoot his game. And Peewee, look, man, leave her alone, child. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, you know, you bringing a lot of attention to her when she come through. She trying to walk through here quiet and get on about her business. Man, Peewee say, man, Peewee said, man, F that bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know, she coming through here talking, man, I ain't studying her. Woo. No, child, I'm trying to take, I ain't trying to hurt nothing. Don't be pulling up on me about no nurse or no police stuff, man. What you mean? All this, and they get into that, right? Bell, okay, he pulled away, he leave, he go on about his business. Man, they done came up with some, they done got with the police, all these people involved. This how much flammery is going on at the time. Man, they done got it some type of way, man, where they done gave Bear the Ninja Turtle suit, man. I'm talking about the vest so you can't get stabbed, the little hammer and everything. And it had to be them. There's no other way he can get it. You know, and they done set it up whereas to, they done put him in this stuff and let him sneak down on the block. And they popped the door open and let that man go in there and stab Peewee, man. In segregation. In segregation, man. So he go in there unannounced and boom, boom, boom. You know, you in seg, you by yourself. You laid low, you sleep, you doing whatever. You ain't prepared for nothing. You ain't got no shoes in there. You only got flip-flops. You ain't got no drawers, t-shirt. Boom. He run in there. They rumble a little bit, whatever. I guess he hit Peewee up a couple of times. He get up out the cell. They close the door. The people trying to act like he ain't never happened. He ain't never happened. But Peewee in there leaking. He hurt. He got stab wounds. You know what I'm saying? And he need medical attention. So when it comes to the attention of somebody else to find out he need medical attention, first off, they bewildered. How you get stabbed? You in the cell. Can't nobody, what? You know, they first thinking he done stabbed himself. But the flammery that's going on, you know? So when it all was said and done, man, Peewee had to be took to medical, because if you don't get took to medical, then what's worse than being up in the cell with some wounds on you, then they finding somebody in the cell that done passed away. There's a whole lot of questions had to be answered that can't be answered. So I guess they took the lighter route and go ahead and try to get him some medical attention. They had to send the man out to the hospital, which opened up a whole can of worms, a whole investigation. How does this man get stabbed in segregation? How? You know what I'm saying? So that opened up the whole big investigation, which ended up bringing that whole situation down. You know what I'm saying? That was going on back there, man. People went to court. Police started telling on each other. Everybody started snitching on each other. They started singing like the OJs, man. Stay away, that happened. Yeah, they was singing on each other, man. They was telling on each other. Indictments came out. Cases was filed. I mean, it was crazy, you know, but it was overdue because they was getting away with murder for a long time. Okay, now this put Peewee in a good position because, like I say, Peewee had life, and then he had the political thing on top of him, whereas to the chance of him getting out was, you know, very, very slim. And he had a great lawsuit. And one of the hardest things to do in prison, man, is to get a lawsuit against the state. Whether you right, wrong, it's hard to get a lawsuit against the state and prevail. And Peewee, he had a heck of a case, man. Internal affairs came in, you know, all types of it was just chaos. So he ended up getting a lawsuit against the state. Now, this is where the political thing comes in, because his case was so publicized and so big and used as a governor, governor, whatever you call it, gubernatorial race, to secure somebody, you know, a spot in the governor's seat. That was bigger than everything. You know, they didn't want to let him go. Peewee could have negotiated, and which I have seen some dudes do when they get wronged real bad, negotiate to drop a lawsuit for their freedom. They wouldn't even do that for Peewee because of the political ties, because of what was said, because of what was done and said and expressed during the campaign. This is the type of dude we'll never let out if I'm governor. This dude right here, you know, this is a person that, you know, just disrespected people that showed him kindness, and that shows, you know, the super predator. All these words was thrown out. So, but the lawsuit was good because you cannot explain away somebody getting stabbed up in segregation. How can you explain that? You know, people should have lost their job. I mean, everything was going on. So, to my understanding, you know what I'm saying, they moved Peewee, which is natural because you got something going on against the institution that you're on. They're going to move. To my understanding, years and years later or later on, I heard he won a lawsuit. I heard he got a good, substantial amount of money. But they would not let him go. You know what I'm saying? But he got a big piece of money. You know, and I heard he was, you know, living it up, man, with that money. But money ain't going, you know, they couldn't give me, man, I wanted to get out so bad, they couldn't give me millions to stay in. You know, I would have took the freedom, but I think that was took off of the table for him because of, you know, his case and the political ties to his case. You know what I'm saying? But I say all this to say this. This is the value of your life in there, man. This is the things that can happen to you when you locked up. You know, this is insanity, man. This is pure insanity. You're locked up in what they call a correctional facility where, you know, you're supposed to be getting, you know, educated and being rehabilitated and getting all of this, you know, and you got people that work for the establishment that you in that will partake in the taking of your life. And you will have to fight to prove that if you survive. He could have easily lost his life in there. It had not the shift change and another officer came that won't with the flammer and see the man in there suffering, they would have let him stay up in there and he probably would have been dead the next day or something due to hemorrhaging of his injuries or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? All of these are possibilities. But this lets you know you are not safe nowhere in prison. Not even in segregation when you in a cell by yourself. That's why a lot of dudes try to go to PC, protective custody, think they're going to be safe. No, you're not. You're not safe if you're in prison, period. You're not safe from the inmates, the convicts, or the administration. You are not safe. Period. Safety is taken out of the dictionary when you go to prison. It's over. There's no such thing as safe. You're in danger at all times. At all times. And that's just a horrible way to live your life. But if you get incarcerated, this is the way you're going to have to live your life because you have no other options. You know what I'm saying? You are on call 24/7, 365, man, on deck, ready. I was Bethlehem in tow, because ain't nobody gonna save me but me. Ain't nobody gonna save me but me. Ain't nobody gonna save you but you. You know, and to the best of my knowledge, Peewee still locked up. You know what I'm saying? And this happened in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? This happened in the 90s, man. And a lot of people that was involved, like the officers or whatever, they told on each other. Some of them got time, not a lot. Some of them got probation. Some of them got fired. All of them got fired. But some of them I spoke on, and some of them moved on to other institutions and got rehired and promoted. And promoted. Unbelievable, but reality. That's just what it is, man. The system is wicked. It's wicked, man. Do not get caught up in that web or that system, man. Being locked up, man, and having to live this type of life. I'm telling you, it is a horrible life to live, man. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed every day to be out here after 12,365 plus days up in there. You know, I'm blessed. So, you know, yeah, man. But Peewee, was a classic example, man, of the value that they put on your life. His, just because of the political situation, they would not even consider letting him go. Instead of doing that, they would rather spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay off what happened to him than to let him go and to mess up, whatever type of political things that was going on and what was done and said in the conviction of him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, in my opinion, I think that would make it feel like they belittled everything they said. They went against everything they said about not letting him out. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy though, but that man could have easily lost his life, you know what I'm saying, just because of, being in prison and having the background that he had. And there's a lot of guys in there like that. And there's a lot of guys that didn't have the attention on them that Peewee had on them, that went through these type of things and didn't have the connections or the way about to get around that and do this and do that. And they just had to take it on the chin. Man. But, yeah, crazy situation, but a true story, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Talk to me, I talk back, man. I know there's a lot more about this story that will probably come to my head, so y'all talk to me. It might make me remember, but I just wanted to get that out because it was on my mind and I wanted to speak about it and put it out there, man. But, yeah, man, your life has zero value when you're in prison, man. And like I say, it's a blessing in every lesson. And the blessing is that, Peewee ain't lose his life due to the lack of professionalism of the institution that he is supposed to be on and supposed to be protected by. That is the blessing. He didn't lose it. He could have lost his life. Getting a lot of money in prison don't mean nothing without your freedom. Money has zero value in prison, man. When it really boils down to the bottom line, zero. What you gonna do? Live swell and HELL? That's an oxymoron. You can't live good in prison. It's not even possible. It's not. You can live better than some, but it still don't even equal to the status of living good. It don't. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. Not in my opinion. In my humble opinion. But anyway, y'all talk to me in the comments. I talk back, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. I love y'all out there, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We on the way to 100K, man. We trying to get there. Plaque on the wall. TBP Nation. Can't stop, won't stop. We out here, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Duck them hooks. Boom, 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 boom. We out.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.